Good morning, everybody. Um, I'm Murli from CIMAGE College, and in my last video, I have discussed about a few concepts of IPv4 address and about class A of IPv4. Fine. So now I'm going to discuss about class B. Okay, so just see. As we have seen that in class A, only first part is used as a network part, and rest three parts are used as a host part. But in class B, I'm just going to annotate my. In class B, these two groups, the very first, these two groups are used for representation of different networks. Means in case of class B, we can create different networks by taking values from the first two groups. Okay. So if these two groups, okay, I'm just going to change the color. Fine, this is okay. So it means if we are using these two groups to represent different networks, it means we are using a total 16 bits for representation of network. The rest 16 bits, because IPv4 is formed with the help of 32 bits. Means these rest 16 bits will be used for the host to form host in a network. That's why I have written here in class B, it has 16 bits of network and 16 bits of host. It means there are total 32 bits. Fine. Then next condition is how many networks we can form in class B. How many different networks we can form in class B. In case of class A, we can form only 128 different networks. But in class B, we can form more networks than class A. For this calculation, how many networks can be formed? Just see. Its range is 128 to 191. It means total value will be 64. If you will start counting from 128 to till 191, in that case, total value will be 64. If you are just subtracting 128 from 191, in that case, you will get 33. Okay, but what I have written 128 to 191. It means the total value is 64. Okay, from the first group, we can take 64 different values, but in each value, we can take a total 256 different value from second group. It means for representation of a network part should be same if I'm taking, for example, 128 from this group. Okay, 128 is the network part. And from second group, we can take value 0. Very first value, 0. Means 128.0 will represent a network. If I'm going to take another value, the first value will be same, 128. And in next group, I'm going to take 128.1. Now, this 128.1, there is a change. That's why this is a different network. And so on, 128.2, 128.3, 4, 5, up to 255. It means in 128, we can form total 256 networks. Fine. Total 256 network. And there are 64 different values in this first group. It means the total calculation of default network will be 64 into 256, and its value will be 16,384. Means we can form 16,384 different network in class B. If you will compare it with class A, in class A, we can form only 128 networks, but in class B, we can form 16,384 different networks. Okay. And if number of network is increasing, In that case, in each network, number of hosts will decrease. So now how we can calculate the host, total number of hosts in each network. So means only these two parts will be used for the host, and each part has 256 values. So the total calculation will be 256 into 256. Means it has 0 to 255 range. It means it has 256 different values, and it has also 256 different values. If you multiply these two values, you will get 65,536. Means 65,536 different host IP can be formed in different network. But once again, we have to reduce by 2. Why 2? Because the very first IP will be used as a network IP and very last IP will be used as a broadcast IP. That's why I have written 65,536 minus 2. The final value means total valid host IP address will be 65,534 only. Okay. Now, about the default subnet mask as the subnet mask that gives the range of a node in a network, and in class B the default subnet mask value is 255.255.0.0. Okay, just see one example from this class. Like I have taken value 130.10. Now these two values will represent a network. So these two values will be constant from beginning to end, will be constant. And we can make different changes with the rest two parts, mean in these two parts. So the very first value will be 0.0, next value will be 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 4, 5, up to 255.255. Means the very first IP will be 130.10.0.0 and the very last IP will be 130.10.255.255. So this IP address will be a network IP address and this IP will be a broadcast IP address, and 130.10.0.1 to 130.10.255.254 IP range will be the valid host IP range. Means you can configure these IP addresses at different nodes in a network. So this is about class B. In my next video, I will discuss about class C. Thank you. Thank you very much.